The latest number is very encouraging. Nothing more encouraging than Kelantan and Terengganu. And I haven't even told this to Mak Sabu. I've always maintained to Pakatan in Kelantan and Terengganu, there is a lost cause. Forget it. Three-corner fights in Kelantan and Terengganu, where BN and PAS had traditionally been the strongest party, and Pakatan had always been a third party, a three-corner fight when Pakatan is a third party in Kelantan and Terengganu, is a hopeless fight. Husam was not too happy with me. A lot of people in Kelantan not too happy. I've predicted before, based on the numbers, that BN will sweep clean all the parliamentary seats in Kelantan and Terengganu. That's 15 in Kelantan and 8 in Terengganu, 23 in the back. I've said that. The reason being is, as of 6 months ago, BN support was about 45% in Terengganu and Kelantan among the Malays. PAS support was about 28 to 30% in Kelantan and Terengganu among the Malays. And Pakatan was at the third place, low 20s, 22, 23. We've completed the survey for Kelantan and Terengganu this week, and the number was a pleasant surprise. I come from Terengganu. I've always given up. You know, I think Terengganu will take so long before the wind of change from the West Coast comes to Terengganu. But I was very surprised because the level of support for UMNO among the Malays in Terengganu actually puts Terengganu in the same bag with Johor and Perak and Negeri Sembilan and Melaka. In Johor, when we ask people, if there is an election tomorrow, which party are you going to vote? Consistently, for the last few months, only 35% of Malays say they will vote for Pakatan. In Negeri Sembilan, in Melaka, and in Perak, only 39% say they will vote for Pakatan. For UMNO. In Terengganu, the number for UMNO is even lower than in Perak and in Negeri Sembilan and in Melaka. Only 37.5% of Malays in Terengganu say that they will vote for BN. The rest are split between Pakatan and PAS, which means that the winds of change, the realignment of Malay votes are taking place, are not just in the West Coast, is already also happening in Terengganu, and worse for PAS and UMNO are in Kelantan. In Kelantan, the support for UMNO is the lowest in the whole Semenanjung. I thought the support was lowest in Selangor. It is actually the lowest in Kelantan, only at about 25.8%. In Kelantan as well, and for those in Kelantan watching, in Kelantan as well, UMNO and PAS are neck and neck at between 25-ish. That means that there's about 50% of votes are up for grab for Pakatan. Even if he cannot win the whole seats in Kelantan and Terengganu, we will begin to pick up a few seats in Kelantan, Terengganu, which traditionally have been a stronghold for UMNO and PAS. Which means what? Malays know what's happening. I know a lot of people from the right of the hall to the left of the hall always ask me, everything is in futility, they say. Because we've seen this before. Every general election, we will see a huge turnout at opposition rallies. We see hundreds of people at opposition fundraising. But when it comes to voting, Malays will continue to give the vote to UMNO. That's what they say. And people always tell me, YB, I think you're just doing, wasting your time, going on your truck, masuk kampung, talking to these people, because they will not vote for us because they fear the AP. There's one cardinal rule of being a government, even if you are corrupt. And I'm telling this also not just to Najib, I'm also telling this to Pakatan leadership, so that when you become government, you remember this one cardinal rule. Even if you corrupt, you can mess up so many things. You can cause so many troubles. You can have your fights at the top, but never, never, ever destroy the rice bowls of the common people. Don't make it difficult for them. Don't make it hard for them. Life is already hard as it is, even without Najib bin Usman. For those people who believe that Malays will never change, remember this. Fence-sitters, common people, whether they are Malays, Chinese or Indian, they just want to live their life on their own because they are small people. Big issues of corruption, governance, how this country is being run, is beyond them, because their preoccupation is how to pay the next bill. Is how to get food on the table. Their preoccupation is to pay minyak kereta, toll, and so on and so forth. So you can't blame them. That's why in the previous elections, the financial mismanagement under Barisan Nasional had not hit the rice bowls of the common public, the full-blown, the way that Najib had done. In 2013's general election, although one MDB has started, the FELDA financial irregularities were happening behind our back. But there was no GST yet. Najib did not have to cut allocations to schools, to hospitals, to universities. GST was not there. Therefore, the common public actually think whatever Pakatan Rakyat and Barisan Nasional were arguing about, those are among the politicians and the elites. They've got no stake in it. And you can't blame them. But things are different now. If you notice, for 6 or 7 years, Najib had denied that cost of living is an issue. Najib refused to accept that prices have gone up so much higher than 3 or 4 years ago. Every time we talk about prices, Najib will quote the baseline inflation, the CPI announced by Bank Negara. Well, the reality is different. You and I know prices have gone up so much. Even the middle class in Kuala Lumpur could feel it, let alone the 90% of the workforce who don't pay tax because their salary is too low. Of course they feel the pinch. You know, when we ask ministers, what are you going to do about prices? They give the dumbest answers. And I like to quote one about the price for the fish. I don't know whether you've heard this before. It's special to me because the remarks were made by an MP from my kampung, the Minister for Agriculture and Agro-Industry, Shah. Prices for fish have been going up like hell. In some areas in this country, only the rich can actually have fish on their table. So people have been asking, what are we going to do to bring down the prices for fish? Because common sense is quite straightforward. If we lack the supply for the fishers, then we must see how to get more large trawlers, deep sea fishermen out to the sea. Now, but this is what the minister said. Lo and behold, about 2 months ago, he made a big announcement in a big function in Kemaman, my hometown. And he said, don't worry people, when the East Coast Railway link is completed, the fish prices will go down. I'm not as smart as Ahmad Maslan, so I took some time to understand how. And he explained further. He said, a lot of the fish supplies actually come on board from the fish jetty in Tok Bali. He said, when we have this 55 billion East Coast Railway link, then the logistic network to deliver this fish to all over the country will be so good that the transportation cost will go down, and that's how we will lower our fish price. And I felt like yelling. I said, you know, if you had told us that you're going to borrow 55 billion from the Chinese for the fish, I'll be very pissed off. I mean, I thought all along that the railway link was meant for the poor East Coast people. It was not even for us, it was for the fishers, according to Najib. So you can understand why people are angry. The cabbies are asking, when are you going to remove the lopsided permit system that allows the cab companies to continue to collect rent from them? It's rent seeking. They have to pay to these companies every day. And if they don't pay, that's it. They accumulate debts, and many of them go to Alung. They ask for a very simple thing. What are you going to do to level the playing field between the e-hailing, the Grab car, and the cab? And Najib's answer is, I give you a petrol card. I don't know whether I've not met any cabbies from yesterday's event, but I don't even know whether there's money in that card. For all you know, it's just a card. That's why I told people who are concerned with the amount of dada and money that Najib is throwing to the public, because people feel that Malays will be swayed once again. They will take this and they will vote for UMNO again. And I said, don't underestimate the public, because they could tell the difference. Before 2013, Najib didn't just promise. Najib actually gave this money beforehand. When Najib wanted to get Felda votes, Najib listed FGV, and then 6 months before election, Najib actually distributed 15,000 ringgit for each Felda settlers family. That's about 2 billion. He gave money. So when these people get 15,000 ringgit each, 6 months before election, of course they think Rosmah is the prettiest girl in town. You can't blame them. What happened now? Najib is not giving the money now. Najib told the Felda settlers, if you vote for us, and we'll be returned to government, then we'll give you 5,000. Felda settlers are not stupid. They say, give me the money first. I want to see the money first. Likewise, Najib also promised civil servants. Najib said that, vote us and we will increase your pay. Najib said the same thing about BRIM. Vote us and then we will increase BRIM in June and in August. You know what the public is saying? Show me the money first. Because they know the government does not have the money. They know that even if Najib wins, and even if Najib honors the very few promises he made today, that will be at the great financial expense of the public. The poor will have to pay, the rich will have to pay, Malay, Chinese, Indian, every single one will pay. That's why anywhere I go, more and more people come and say, don't worry, they give us money, we'll take money. In fact, I tell them, if they give you money, please ask for a car, ask for something better. Get something a lot better. They know now, because Malaysians are not stupid. And I'm sure this time around, for the first time in our history, we will see Malays, Chinese, Indian, Iban, Kadazan, the urban, the rural, the poor, the young, male, female. It is a battle between every single concerned Malaysians against Najib and Rosmah. It is not about a battle between parties. It is not a battle between the race. It is us versus Najib and Rosmah in this election.